image clashing with the surreal weirdness of waking up next to a total stranger. Cautiously, she leaned forward to get a better view of his face. He was in his late 30s, she thought, disheveled chestnut hair and the beginnings of a beard. A corpse? She knelt down and placed 2 fingers on his neck, to the right of his Adam's apple. When she pressed down on the carotid artery, she felt a pulse. Relief. The guy was sleeping, but alive. She took a moment to look at him more closely. Did she know him? Some thug she was taking to jail? A childhood friend whose face she'd forgotten? No, his features were completely unfamiliar to her. Elise pushed back a few stray blonde locks that had fallen over her eyes, then examined the pair of metal handcuffs that connected her to the man. It was a standard double-locking model, a type used by police departments and private security firms all over the world. Most likely, this was her own pair. Elise rummaged in her jeans pocket, hoping to find the key. It wasn't there. She did, however, find a gun in the inside pocket of her leather jacket. Thinking it must be her service pistol, she sighed with relief as she gripped the butt. But this was not the Sig Sauer used by cops in the Paris criminal division. It was a polymer Glock 22, and she had no idea where it had come from. She wanted to check the magazine, but it was difficult with one hand shackled. She did eventually manage it after a few contortions, taking care not to wake the stranger. 1 bullet missing. As she handled the pistol, she became aware that the butt was stained with dried blood. Unzipping her jacket all the way, she discovered that there were traces of blood all over her blouse. My God, what have I done? Elise rubbed her eyes with her free hand. A migraine was throbbing in her temples now. She felt as if her skull was being crushed in an invisible vice. She took deep breaths, trying to push back her fear, gather her memories. The night before, she had gone out on the Champs-Élysées with 3 girlfriends. She'd had plenty to drink, downing glass after glass in a series of bars. The Moonlight, the 13th Floor, the Londonderry. Around midnight, the 4 friends had gone their separate ways. She had been alone when she'd headed to the underground parking garage on Avenue Franklin Roosevelt, where she'd left her car, and then a blank, as if someone had dropped a black veil over her brain. Her mind floundered in the void. Her memory was paralyzed, frozen, jammed on that final image. Come on, think, for God's sake. What happened next? She had a distinct memory of paying at the ticket machine, then walking downstairs to the 3rd underground level. She had been drunk, without a doubt. After staggering over to her little Audi, she had unlocked the door, sat behind the wheel, and nothing. No matter how hard she tried to concentrate, a white brick wall barred the way to her memories. A vast, unclimbable wall. She swallowed. Her panic level went up a notch. These woods, the blood stains on her blouse, this gun that wasn't hers. Whatever was going on, it was a hell of a lot worse than an ordinary hangover. If she couldn't remember how she had ended up here, she must have been drugged. Maybe some creep had spiked her drink. It was far from impossible. As a cop, she'd dealt with several cases involving date rape drugs in recent years. She filed this idea away in a corner of her mind and began emptying her pockets. Her wallet and her police badge had disappeared. No ID, no money, no cell phone. Her fear was compounded by worry. The crack of a branch sent a flock of warblers flying. A few red leaves fluttered down, brushing Alice's face. With her left hand, she zipped up her jacket.